What's up, familia? Welcome inside the studio. Hope you guys are doing good, keeping between the lines. Got your load secure. Let me go ahead and set that up. How you doing, Queen B? Man, this is a special, an honor, and a privilege. I am here with one of the band members. I would say the trumpet man, yes. One Mr. Jeff Lewis. How you doing, sir?
Doing fine. Nice to have you here, brother.
No, listen, the pleasure's all mine. It really is. I've been a huge fan of Tierra for a long time, but I mean, there's a huge story before all this. I mean, before Tierra and everywhere that you've been, taking your instrument and doing the damn thing.
That's right. Yeah. So, I joined up in Tierra in 1999. Mm-hmm. So, 2003, I guess, 24 years, I've been a member of Tierra, proudly proud member of Tierra.
Nice.
But, way back, we were talking, I went to North Hollywood High School.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's get to the roots, man. So, where are you originally from?
North Hollywood.
North Hollywood. Yeah. Shout out to the San Fernando Valley,
North Hollywood High School, class of 72.
Oh, you're a young man.
Trying to keep that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my wife and I say we're not getting older, we're getting better.
Yeah, I always say that. I always say that. I keep telling everybody that we're not getting older, we're getting better.
There we go.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I agree. Okay,
yeah, but I started playing trumpet end of 4th grade back in grammar school, and actually a little known thing is that I started off not on the trumpet, but believe it or not, you can take a garden hose. Yes, the watering hose. You know, a garden hose.
Oh yeah.
And as long as there's no water in it, you can go and make a note.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that on in this music appreciation film they had in grammar school. They put us in the auditorium, and then this French horn player was talking about how he makes a note on his horn. He had kids in this movie, and he had a a garden hose, and he says, "Let me show you, kids." And making a note on a garden hose.
Did he cut a piece out, or
It was. I think it was about 12 feet long. I'm thinking.
Oh, that's still
yeah,
size. Okay.
yeah, and so because I mean the trumpet is basically just a brass tube,
Mm-hmm.
and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get, yeah, I do have to let the water out.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, folks. Realities of trumpet playing. Right?
Right.
Okay, well, without changing any of these valves,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's one length of pipe if you're not doing this, okay? So one piece of pipe without even touching the valves, you can blow faster
Okay.
and get a higher note. It's all one piece of pipe.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So all the bugle calls.
Wow.
So all of those bugle calls are for a horn that has no valves.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all the notes you can get with just one length of pipe.
Right.
See,
without the valves.
And then the three valves, each valve here, see, has got an extra hook of pipe. See,
piping. Okay.
See? So this is a short one. Here's a medium one. Here's a long one. So if you're not pushing down the valves, it's not going through those extra pieces.
Gotcha.
So the first shortest one is the second one. So see, I'm just making the pipe a little longer.
Got it. Okay.
Then the next one,
not much longer because that's the short one.
Right. Yes. And then the first valve is sort of double of that length. So
nice.
See, as it gets longer,
yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And then the third valve is about 3 times what the short one is. So
okay.
You see?
Okay.
Now you can combine them and get even lower. So those are 7 lengths of pipe. You see, by combining it, it's open, second, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3. So see, so then that's all you got to work with on the trumpet. So everything else is your lip and how fast you're buzzing your lip and how hard you're blowing.
Okay.
See, so I can do this without touching any valves. Okay.
Okay.
Second one. See, I'm just so you get all your notes by the combinations of that and how hard you blow, and then basically you have to just memorize the feel of each note and the fingering, and then you. Yeah. And so, but when I saw that film in 4th grade where the French horn player with a hose, I said, "Man, I don't have a French horn at home, but I know I got a garden hose at home." I ran home. I realized you have to empty out all the water. I got a note on the damn garden hose, and then I tried for another note. I was doing that on a garden hose for about 6 months. Just, you know.
Oh man. How were you? I mean, when did you know that you wanted to play an instrument so much that you said, you know what, I'll do the garden hose?
Well, I had a little plastic toy trumpet.
Okay.
You know, even before that, you know, like when I was 5 years old or something, you know, and it was really like a harmonica with you know, each button you just had to blow on it. And it would make a sound like a harmonica, right?
Right.
So it was a pretend little trumpet, but I was pretending to be a trumpet player then.
Okay.
Even then, okay. And then, and then I saw the film with the garden hose, and I started blowing that, because that's, we didn't have much money, but, I had a garden hose,
Well, let me ask you this. Why the trumpet?
Man, I just, I did have a friend who brought his trumpet to class and showed off that he played trumpet. I thought, man, that's really something. His name was Steve Skinner, and then he played trumpet, and I thought, wow, that's, I don't know. Trumpet is more kind of a macho thing. I don't, you know what I mean?
Okay, it's okay. You didn't want to pick up the flute.
I mean, that's more me than
yeah. Right. You didn't want to pick up the clarinet,
or flute, or violin. No, but the orchestra teacher came around class and said, hey, we need for the orchestra next year, which would be my 5th grade. We need violins and flutes and clarinets and trumpets. So, ooh, trumpets! $5 you can rent the horn over the summer and get to know it, and then join the orchestra. See?
Okay.
And so,
let me ask you about your parents. Were your parents cool with all this? Were they like, yes, what? Go for it?
Actually, my dad played bass in high school and college. Stand-up bass, not electric. Stand-up bass.
The one that looks like a cello.
Yeah, but big. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he loved music, and my mom, went along with that.
Was he a musician, or it was a hobby for him?
Well, it was he played band jobs in high school and college. That's how he made money. But he wound up being a writer. He wanted to write plays and TV shows and stuff like that. But I came along and he had to make a living, so he started writing advertisements. He started working for a company that wrote advertisements for magazines, and industrial equipment and stuff. And
did he try to push you towards music?
No push.
Come here, Jeff.
No push.
Gotta pick up an instrument.
No. It was me saying, "Hey, Mom, Dad, can I have $5 to rent this trumpet over the?" And they said, "You really want to do this, huh? Okay, well, okay." So, they gave him the $5, thankfully, and
$5 back then were $5.
It was. We had.
We got a couple of musicians in there.
The rich kids lived up the hill. We were at the bottom of the hill. I'm just saying, but I'm not complaining at all, because But
this was North Hollywood. This was North Hollywood back in the 70s.
Now when we're talking about starting the trumpet, I started trumpet playing in 1963.
There you go, kids.
When the
Beatles, 1963.
When the Beatles came out, okay, that was actually 64. See,
okay.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going back. So $5 went a lot.
I just turned 69 years old. That's me.
69 years young.
That's right.
There you go.
Thank you. Keep it going. That's right. That's right. But anyway, just long story short, So, I come to the auditorium on the Friday morning. It was cool. I got out of class, and the orchestra teacher opens up this trumpet case, and there's a bright, shiny trumpet. I'm going, and she says, "Now, what you need to do, you have to put the mouthpiece in the horn, and then what you want to do is buzz your lips." And I'm going, "I got this." Okay. I never confessed that I played garden hose. I just went, and she went, "I can't believe the first note on a trumpet sounded like that." And I'm going, I was kind of ashamed that I played.
Technically speaking, it was the first time on a trumpet.
It was.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so, I was blessed to have a wonderful teacher, a guy named Zeke Zarchi. And when he was 18, 19, 20 years old, he was in the Glenn Miller Band. The Glenn Miller Band, in the big band era, in the swing band era, 1940s, the Glenn Miller Band, they were the Beatles.
Okay.
That was the top swing band, and he was on that band.
Okay.
So, that is the beginning of Tierra, but they took that That is really the introduction to Glenn Miller in the Mood.
Okay. Okay. Now,
but they used it for their song Zoot Suit. And they didn't.
Really?
They didn't get sued. Thank you. So
Okay, today's a different story. Today there have been copyrights.
It might have been a problem, but yeah, okay. when Tierra came out with the Zoot Suit song, that is the intro to "In the Mood" by Glenn Miller. That my trumpet teacher played on. You see?
Okay. So, I'm getting it. So yes.
And there was a guy named Harry James that was the first trumpet player, and then there was Ziggy Elman and Zeke Zarchi, and so my trumpet teacher was on that band. So So my trumpet approach to trumpet playing is deeply rooted back in, with the cats that were really on top in the 40s, and I'm very, very blessed. Okay. His son was my age, saying we knew each other, and then my dad got to talking to Andy's dad. Is like, oh, you were on the Glenn Miller band? Oh my God,
it was a big deal.
Yeah, my dad was playing band jobs. Of course, they're playing "In the Mood" because that was the hit song. And to me, Zeke Zarchi was on the Glenn Miller band. Oh, whoa, And so Zeke didn't teach beginning students, and I'm very blessed that he accepted me as a beginner. A student. He liked my tone. He was impressed with my tone, and he taught me well. And I took from him for probably about 8 years straight, from the time I was 9 to when I was 18. Yeah, about 8 or 9 years, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and throughout the 8-9 years, were you completely in love with it? Did you ever put it down and say like, "Oh man,
the longest time that I have not played trumpet since I was 9 years old was about 6 weeks right after high school, when I had my wisdom teeth removed.
Oh,
I couldn't blow.
Okay.
And I was going through withdrawals. I mean, it was like, and that's the longest time I've laid down the horns. But I've been playing straight through. I mean, in grammar school, by the end of 6th grade, I was the first trumpet in the district orchestra. In junior high, I came in as a 7th grader. By the end of my first semester, I beat out the 9th graders for first chair. When I went to North Hollywood High School as a 10th grader, I was first chair trumpet.
Okay.
Over all the older guys, all the way through. So, his teaching really, really was solid and really helped me.
So who's from North Hollywood and attended North Hollywood High, or someone in the San Fernando Valley, man? Because that's where this man is from. So you're playing at North Hollywood High, you're doing your thing, but you're also involved in sports as well.
Well, yeah, and I also studied science and math. But the first 2 years at North Hollywood, I was on the junior varsity tennis team.
Okay.
To be in the varsity team, you had to have really short hair.
Okay. And that was
I didn't have short hair back then.
That wasn't the style.
No. So the coach was really, you had to have a crew cut, and to be on the varsity anyways. But anyway, I had fun playing on JV tennis, and then for my last year, my senior year, I ran JV cross country. That's the first time I ever did cross country. I didn't want to be varsity. But I became the best junior varsity runner.
Really?
Yeah, I got runner of the year there.
Oh man!
And then I also studied math and science all the way through high school.
Okay.
I'd take summer school so that I'd have a year's worth of elective so that I could take orchestra.
Ah, gotcha.
See, so I take chemistry or something, in the summer school so that I'd have orchestra open and and take all my other classes. But
oh wow,
yeah. Okay. So I was a science and math guy. In fact, as long as I don't like to brag, but
that's the nerdy side.
The science teachers at North Hollywood High voted me the outstanding science student of my graduating class.
All right, hang on a second here. All right, hang on a second here. So, hold on a second here. So, you were top of the junior varsity cross country.
Yeah.
Okay. You were the top dog in the orchestra.
Yeah.
And you were top dog in the science.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
man. Okay.
now, years later, I had some brilliant classmates, and they have gone on to. I mean, like one guy developed this, breakthrough medicine. He wasn't just on the team; he was the head of the research team. That David Carp. Brilliant.
Okay.
I've had other guys that have my. Another buddy of mine is a professor of biology and
so you know what? That's cool, but they can't outrun you though.
No. well, actually, the one who's a professor, he's the one who got me into the cross country.
Oh, got you.
He ran on the varsity team, and so
yeah, but he can't play the trumpet the way you do that.
He did play trumpet.
Yeah, but the way
yeah. He was a good buddy. Tom Nolan is a good buddy, but. Yeah, I had some great friends, wonderful friends, but then was it my last year?
Yeah, let's talk about your senior year.
I met
last year make memories in high school.
I met some cats in Poly High School.
Okay.
Vic Mandrillo, John Balbuena, Jim Giomi. These guys had a great band, and they were looking for horns. And I was at a party one time, and hey, Jeff, aren't you the trumpet player from North Hollywood? Yeah. I got some buddies at Poly. They need horns. Just, sure. So I joined up with their band, and then we started playing. That was pop music. It wasn't orchestra stuff.
Okay.
I had been in a kind of a pop group led by one of the junior high school music teachers, and with some singing girls. That was very good training too.
Is it like the old, like when you watch like La Bamba or something, you guys get together in a garage and jam out?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. The band that we had, we called it Hot Flash.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we had Vic Mandrillo's garage, and then it was John Balbuena's garage. Yeah, garage band, exactly. That's but yeah, we played Chicago Beginnings when Beginnings first came out. That was Chicago's biggest first hit. A lot of Chicago tunes had great horns in them.
Right.
And this is just slightly before Tower of Power hit. So I didn't even know who Tower of Power was, but we played, Chicago, some Joe Cocker, some good stuff with horns. And so now fast forward into, I went to UCLA studying biology. Remember, I was a science guy. I actually,
that's right. You're the science guy.
I have a bachelor degree in biology from UCLA hanging on my wall.
California. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
But the real story is that while I was studying biology at UCLA, the only way I made money to pay for gas and books and take the girlfriend out, was blowing my horn.
Okay.
See, so I was in school, but I was also in school.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Got to make the money. Take the girlfriend out.
That's right. It saved me money because I could bring her to the dances I played at. See, so I didn't, so I'm making money at the dances and not spending loot to get into the dances.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So 1973. I'm in my first year at UCLA, and I met David because the band I was in at Poly, the guys from Poly High School, John Balbuena, he was kindergarten buddies with David's guitar player, Ray Flores.
Okay.
I mean, when they were in kindergarten, Ray only knew Spanish, and John knew Spanish and English. So Ray was stuck to John like glue, right?
Yeah.
They were tight buddies.
You could translate for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
From kindergarten, I'm kindergarten buddies, right?
Yeah.
So the band I was in and the band David was in, we played a dance out in San Fernando Valley the summer before in '72. Same dance, and they remembered my playing. Okay. That trumpet player in John Balbuena's band. Well, David's band. I'm pointing at David because we're at Moonlight Studios. That's my recording studio.
Hey guys, this is so cool, man.
Little plug here.
Yeah, you want just to let you guys know what's going on. How you guys doing, man? El vato named Fred, Coach Dalbert's in here. How you guys doing, man? So just I met Jeff Lewis, man. He invited me down to his studio, so this is where we're at. And it's such a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, it was. I was working with Tierra in Fillmore, and me and my wife were sitting in the third row catching all the opening acts, and he's sitting in the row in front of me, and we get to talking and stuff. And it was your birthday, right?
It was. It was.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. But
so you're talking about they knew each other since kindergarten.
Yeah. So David's band wanted, and his band was called We the People, and that band was really big on the East Side in 1973, 74, 75. I mean, we were one of the top bands. I'm not going to say we were the top. I mean, there might be guys who differ with us, but
what venues would they be play at on the East Side?
Roger Young Auditorium.
Okay,
is a dance hall down in L.A. The Latin American Press Club in Pico Rivera. But we also played a lot of the Catholic high school dances. Cathedral High School, Salesian High School, Sacred Heart of Mary, or Our Lady of Loretto.
And this is a time where it was basically just word of mouth. That's how. Around,
right? We also played a lot of car clubs through dances too.
Okay.
One of the biggest car club that hired us was the Group.
Okay.
The Group East LA. Are you familiar with it?
Not the Group. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
They've been around.
Really?
Yeah, the Group, and GROUPE Group. The Group East LA.
Anybody heard of the Group Car Club? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Before your time, brother. But the Group, the Imperials.
Oh yeah.
The classics from Santa Ana, the Brown Brotherhood, the Clique. We played for all of their dances. In fact, the Group Car Club rented the Hollywood Palladium and threw a dance and invited all the other car clubs. And it was going really good until a fight broke out. But
of course,
unfortunately, but that was a huge dance. Thousands of cats were there, and
nice.
So the car clubs threw some serious dances, and actually that band also. Interesting. I mean, we were big on the East Side, and most of the cats in the band were Hispanic, Mexican American, and black bass player in Widow,
So the gringo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is my passport into many parts of society. I grew up in North Hollywood, but I've gone all over. This is my passport.
That's the passport, man. Into the barrio, man.
Okay, so
wow, man.
That for a gringo from North Hollywood. I just got married for the second time this last year.
Okay.
My lovely wife Martha is from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and during our wedding ceremony, I actually picked up the trumpet and played "Ahora Mi" for her.
Yeah.
I'm the groom, and I'm playing trumpet for my bride. So it's,
man, that is.
Yeah, so so it was fun to be able to do that. That's a favorite song, of course. But
okay.
But anyway, back to the story. David's band wanted to play "You're Still a Young Man" by Tower of Power.
Still a young man. I won't butcher.
And that starts off with some high notes on trumpet.
Okay. Yeah. And
they had a good trumpet player, but he couldn't play the high notes. Mario Manzano, bless his soul, rest in peace. He couldn't play the high notes, and they needed a guy because they had to play "You're Still a Young Man." Every band had it, Well, they taught it to me, and they didn't have a record player or a cassette player or anything. They're just showing me the notes. So the sax players were showing me the notes, and I got the notes. He says, "Yeah, well, that's it, but it's up." I'm going, "Up? What? A little bit up, like a different key?" No, up. You mean an octave up? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Let me try this. As soon as I hit the high note, want to join the band?
Wow. Okay. All right.
Excuse me. Those are extra notes I put at the end.
Okay.
Anyways, it's higher than Tower of Power. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that was pretty high.
Yeah, so I could play that,
Uh-huh.
and so I was in the band.
Okay.
And that band, I mean, half of the songs we played were Tower of Power songs. I'll stop making noise. Poor David and his customer Sulu. She's trying to record a song singing.
they're doing some work over there, guys. So over here, being disrupted.
This is a working studio.
Well, we're getting in trouble.
Okay, I better play quietly now. But because I could play that song has gotten me into more bands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something about that song. You hear a trumpet, nail that. I mean, either you nail it or you crash and burn.
Well, look, I'm not that familiar with instruments or anything. Honestly, I thought that was a saxophone.
No,
that made that
trumpet.
Wow.
Yeah, the Tower of Power's got 2 trumpets.
Yeah.
2 tenor saxophones and a big fat bari sax on the bottom.
Okay.
That's their sound.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how many members are in Tower of Power?
Well,
I mean, you
keyboards, bass, drums, guitar. That's the rhythm section, 4-piece rhythm section, and 5 horns. The ones I just said: 2 trumpets, 2 tenor saxes, and a bari sax.
Okay.
Plus a lead singer. So there's 10 people in Tower of Power.
Wow. I never bothered to count. I just said like, wow. You know what? Like that's a big band. But I mean.
And they got
some bangers, though. You guys, great music.
They put their horns on the front line too, and that's what I love about Tower of Power.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been in plenty of bands where they put me in the back.
Right.
And I'm, you're
not down with that.
Nah, unless you pay me a lot of money. Like a couple years ago, I did a tour with R&B artist Kim.
Okay.
Some people know him, some people don't, but I mean. We played down in my first gig with Cabo San Lucas, and War opened up for Kim.
Ooh, okay.
My buddies who Tierra normally opens up for War, right? But
yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Sal? How you doing, Renee? Hey, when are you going on? After you?
Ooh.
Oops. Wow. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, so and then we played a couple gigs with Kim in Houston and Dallas. Babyface opened up for us.
Okay, I remember Babyface.
Yeah. Lots of hits. The hit maker, man. And he's opening up for Kim. So, who's this guy, Kim? But but I'm in the back. But he paid me really good. So
gotcha. Now
and then okay. Maybe I should fast forward the story a little bit. But with David's band, it's called We the People. We the People was really big on the East Side. In the early 70s.
Some people might remember that band. I honestly, I don't. I never heard of We the People. But
what year were you born, brother?
81.
Yes, it's the decade before you were born. We'd play Tower Power, Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, Ohio Players.
All those are great.
And Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Actually, he was with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Had a great hit called "The Love I Lost." Everybody thought it was Harold Melvin singing, but it was actually Teddy Pendergrass before he went as a solo artist.
Okay.
But
love me some.
We'd close. We the People. We'd close every gig by playing "The Love I Lost," and we had a singer just tore that up and had the horns, and it was. Back in the 70s, you didn't have some guy playing records in the corner. That was
right.
What guy playing records in the corner? What kind of dance is this? No, you had to have 3 bands. One plays 8 to 10. One plays 10 to 12. One plays 12 to 2.
Okay.
So you put 3 bands' names on the poster, on Whittier Boulevard. There was one company that printed all those posters, and
because I mean today there's some sort of break time where you got a DJ up there DJing.
Yeah.
So back then there was no break time. There was no like halftime during a concert.
No, as a band you had to tear down and set up quickly. In fact, what we would do for a while, I was booking the band, and I would never accept the middle spot.
Okay.
I said we can play first or we can play last. And Ace is already playing last. Well, then we'll play first.
Okay. Why is that?
Because then The phone rings. Oh, well, we're already playing first at this dance, but we can make it over to your dance to play last. So we played 2 dances in one night. It was crazy.
Okay.
Crazy times.
Okay.
We played 8 to 10 at one dance, and we were like a football team, man. I mean, it's like everybody knew what they had to pack up. The horn section got the PA columns and roll up the cables, and
Now,
and we would pack it all up into a van, and we'd shoot across town. And this is before GPS. You had to have Thomas Brothers.
That's okay.
This is old school.
Yes, yes. I used to use. I know, me being a truck driver, I've been driving for over 20 years. We used to use Thomas guys.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
What page? Which grid number? A.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. You learn from something from that, kids. But let me go ahead and ask you this. You get a phone call. This is before cell phones. Yeah. So who are they calling? How are you getting a phone call? Are you saying, hey, we're going to be at this venue, and here's a phone number to the venue? I mean,
no. I mean, that's why you had posters on the telephone poles.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
that's how people knew about it. And we'd have business cards with our phone number, our home phone number, whatever. We the people. Here's the phone number. Call, and then you have to use the old phone.
Right.
And
you mess up dialed, and it's like, oh man, I got to do it all over again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it is what it was. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Convenience of cell phones and storing somebody's phone number, and
times have changed. Times have definitely changed.
But yeah, so we'd play 8 to 10 at one dance, and we'd pack up, shoot across town, set up boom, 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 and play 12 to 2 at another dance.
Okay.
Now we'd make each $25 for each dance. I mean,
yeah. How do you charge? Like, what do you say? Like, hey, this is our flat rate, or is there some kind of negotiation going on?
Back then, we had a price for and we what we would charge, and it was about what the other bands charged. And it wasn't very much when you look at it. It's you never made a ton of money. This is not the way to make a ton of money, folks. This business much better to be a trucker. Okay, tell you, get paid by the mile. Hell yeah, So, we had a rate we charged, but I was careful to book either the first slot or the last slot, so we could. There was a time when there was a 3-day weekend when we played 6 dances. In one weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was happening back then. Yeah. Like I said, you didn't have anybody in the corner playing records. That was the later 70s. That's when disco came in.
Okay, and this is a time where there's a lot of equipment to pack up and move around.
Yeah, well, you know what? We didn't use monitors, and I didn't know about monitors until I played with the Jacksons. That's another part of the story.
Holy smokes!
I didn't know about those monitor speakers, and I can't work without them now.
Okay.
If you're the audience, you see the big speakers that are putting the sound out to you, but that's in front of the band. And in fact, our microphones better not hear that, or they're going to start that feedback.
Gotcha.
Whistling and all.
Okay.
So then so our microphones are. All stage microphones are built to pick up from the front and to kind of like kill the noise that is coming at it from the back. See?
Got it.
So we have little slanted little monitor speaker boxes at our feet that are looking at the back side of the microphone.
Yes.
See? So we're talking in the front side of the microphone. You hear us, so you can turn it up a certain way. If you turn it up too loud, it's going to feedback anyway.
Gotcha.
But that's a little balancing act the sound guys have to work with, to bring it enough so that the singers can hear themselves, or the trumpet player can hear himself. Because on a stage, I'm on the wrong end of the trumpet to hear it.
Right. Yes.
I'm outside, and my sound goes that way. It doesn't come back to me. So monitor speakers are very nice. But back in the day, we didn't have monitor speakers. We just had the main speakers. If you want to hear yourself, you play louder. We played pretty loud. Anyway, so I was with We the People, then I joined Ace.
Yes.
The Ace band, they're still going strong.
Yeah, still going strong. They are. Just like I was telling you, I saw the Ace band. They opened up for you guys in Montclair.
Yeah, they opened up for Tierra and Montclair.
For Tierra at the Canyon Club. Hey, shout outs to the Ace band. I want to make it a point to go see them again, because those guys are just with it. They are badass.
They've been doing it forever. They've been
Oh
doing it
man,
forever.
I gotta.
Those guys are yeah. Jim and Bob Tulio are the
Mm,
leaders, and along with Steve Chacon, the sax player. Jim's the lead singer, and Bob's the guitar player, and Steve Chacon's the sax
oh
player.
man.
And those guys have been the core of the Ace band for a long time. Bob Rios recently retired from the band. He was the bass player since the beginning.
Okay.
But
First time I've ever seen them, but it's not gonna be the last. I'm following them. It's just every time that they're playing, we got other commitments that we have to do. But
yeah.
I definitely want to check them out.
Yeah, they put on a show. Those guys put on a
And
show.
how long did you play with them for?
A couple years, maybe 2.5 years, something like that. Because right after I graduated UCLA with my biology degree, I was playing gigs with Ace, and then a buddy of mine called and said, "Hey, Michael Jackson and his brothers are looking for a trumpet player."
Wow.
I said,
Notice I pointed when I graduated from UCLA. You guys notice that?
Yeah, and I hung up my lab coat, and I never went back to get it. Actually, somebody must have used it or threw it away. I had a coffee cup and a lab coat in a lab over there. I had the keys to.
So the Jackson 5.
Yeah. Well, now, okay. This is right when they changed names to the Jacksons.
Okay, got you.
The Jackson 5 were signed to Motown Records.
Okay.
The Jackson 5 is a Motown product. Okay. Now, 4 of them got tired of Motown. Said, hey, we're leaving. We're going to CBS Epic Records. The one who didn't go was Jermaine, because he was married to the boss's daughter at Motown.
Oh.
The boss is Berry Gordy. He married Hazel Gordy. The president of Motown, is his father-in-law.
Oh,
and his brothers are going, come on, Jermaine, we're leaving Motown. He said, fellas, I'm married to Motown. I can't go.
Talk about a ball and chain, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Little side story. When the Jacksons 5 started, it wasn't 5, it was just 4. And Michael was told, no, Michael, you're too young to sing with your brothers.
Okay.
You wait till you grow up, Michael. Because this is really for the big boys. Man, that's the only thing Michael wanted to do. He wanted to sing with his brothers, and he wanted to show them that he was good enough to sing with his brothers, right? But in the meantime, I think Jermaine was probably the lead singer.
Okay.
And the other 3 were back up, and Jermaine played bass, Tito played guitar. They all sang.
Did you get to hang out with them?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little. Well,
did you meet the father? Did you hang out with the dad?
One time briefly. I don't have good things to say about the dad, so I'll
we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
I got you.
He was not friendly.
Okay.
I was introduced to him by his business partner. Hey, you want to meet the Jackson's dad? And I'd love to meet the Jackson's dad. Sure,
Yeah, were you a little starstruck? Like, holy smokes, look who I'm playing with.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to meet their dad.
Right, yeah.
He had an office up in the Motown building, which then became the House of Blues building in Hollywood, and
wasn't a good experience.
Joe, this is this is our new trumpet player, Jeff, and he goes, really? Really? No, I was expecting, welcome to the team. I'm not nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it was. I mean, maybe he was having a bad day, but he was not friendly to me, and so I have nothing good to say about him, except that, obviously his persistence and his drive pushed his sons to greatness. So I'll say that good thing about him. Okay.
And how were they? How were the kids?
They were the coolest people to work with. They were wonderful to work with.
All right.
We actually practiced in their backyard. The famous Havenhurst house, south of the boulevard, south of the Ventura Boulevard in Encino. They had a guest house in the backyard, and they had changed that into a rehearsal studio. And so we practiced every day of the week.
Wow.
5 days a week for about 6 hours each day. They only paid us $10 a day, gas money.
Wow. But was that normal? Did most bands practice every day?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
I was with Johnny Guitar Watson, who didn't pay anything for rehearsals, but you only have a few rehearsals before you run out and go on the road.
Mm.
It wasn't it was just kind of tighten up before we run out on the road. So, but the Jacksons, it was like rehearsing. I show up to their house, and now they call it the Jackson compound. And it was their house, and
right, yeah.
And I drive my old Toyota Corolla station wagon. Anyway,
what year was the vehicle?
Oh, dude, yeah, it was old. Even it was old then. It was probably 69, and this is 77. It was falling apart. But anyway,
okay, all right.
But man, I was happy to be practicing with him. I was, this is and so the four of them went to CBS Epic Records, and they let their youngest brother Randy join. Okay. Randy's the only one only boy who's younger than Michael.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Randy Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here you go. Here you go.
Oh yeah, we got the picture up there. Let me.
I'll bring it over. I'll bring him over. I'll bring him over.
Let me go ahead and see what everybody's saying right here. Saludos to everybody. Lord Spike, Strange Days, Dodger Blue Fool. We're not too far from Dodger Stadium.
Oh no.
How's everybody doing? So
okay. So this picture here, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, you got it.
This is the real Michael Jackson.
Right? I think you need to point out which one you are.
I'm the one in the white pants. just saying, I'm the one. I know it's hard to tell, but I'm the one in the white pants there. So it's Michael, Randy, me when I was 23, Jackie, Marlon, and Tito. That's the Jacksons. That's their first tour as the Jacksons. And
were you the only one part of the band that was not a Jackson?
Oh no. I mean,
how you doing, Denise?
They had their cousin Johnny Jackson on drums.
Okay.
So they were the only Jacksons. The five Jacksons plus their cousin.
Okay.
So everybody else were musicians.
We're outsiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tito played guitar, so he was conducting the rehearsal. But the fact is that year, the tour was supposed to be a summer tour, but Michael lost his voice.
Oh. Okay.
Michael Jackson lost his voice. He was 19 years old. He's trying to sing songs that he recorded when he was 11 and 12. He's trying to sing them in close to the same key.
Right.
All this high stuff. He lost his voice.
Wow.
And the doctors then told him, Michael, if you talk using your regular voice, you will never get your voice back.
Wow, man. Wow.
So that's when Michael Jackson started talking like this. That's when Michael talked like that.
Really?
That's the explanation because if he talked like this in his regular voice, he wouldn't have a voice to sing.
Is that true? Is that
honest
real?
to God? And I don't know why people don't know this.
I don't know. I don't know this.
Okay, we're making it public now. Michael talked like this, you see.
To save his voice.
Yeah, and you talk to him, hey Michael, nice to meet you. And he goes, nice to meet you too. Yeah. So he would talk as little as was polite.
Yeah.
And he talked like in that voice like that. Now Adele, when she lost her voice, they told her, don't make a sound. No, don't even talk like this. No. Adele had to be absolutely silent for 3 months because the philosophy of the doctors has changed over the years. You see.
Okay.
Back then they told Michael he could talk in that high voice. That Adele, they said, no, not a word. Let your voice heal. Not a word for 3 months. Not a sound. Okay.
Wow.
But that's why Michael talked like this. You see.
I had no idea. I was always thinking, like, you know what? Something's up with him, man. Because
something's off.
Because he's talking very timid.
Yeah,
but I had no idea. That's the reason why.
Yeah. And when I'm out on tour, I was out on tour with his brothers, and Michael would honestly, he'd hang out and he couldn't walk around. Crowds would, just.
Oh yeah.
Even then, that's before Thriller, Off the Wall, before all that, he was still big stuff then. Okay. We never rehearsed with Michael.
Oh, he was never there.
No, well, he would listen to the rehearsals, but he wouldn't sing. See, he's trying to heal his voice.
Save it for the show itself.
The first time we ever did the show with Michael, I mean, you see the movies about him preparing for the latest tour, the last tour before he died. And stuff.
Yeah, I did see that.
He was singing and all. No. We didn't. He didn't sing a lick. Not a thing. The first time we did the show with Michael was in front of 18,000 people at Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan.
Wow.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Tito, hey, because Tito was, okay, we're going to get to the end of this section, and then Michael will throw a cue, and then we'll go into the next section. I go, Tito, shouldn't we do this with Michael? He goes, Jeff, Mike knows the show. The cue will be there. Okay. And we get out there, and okay, well, that's the cue. Okay. He's got okay, yeah, okay, we got it. So
you see what he just did at his age, the man still got his moves.
There you go, brother. It's crazy, but so it's just wild. But,
and how long were you with them? How long did you?
Not very long.
Okay,
to be honest.
Okay.
I rehearsed the whole summer of '77. Then we did a tour of the Eastern United States. Okay. And then, okay, guys, bye. We're out of work. We're not rehearsing nothing. Then in February the next year, '73, we rehearsed again for a little bit. We did 3 concerts in Trinidad, West Indies.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, are you making enough money off music, or are you having to do side jobs?
Well, I was living at home with my mom and dad. Okay. And I'm just making a little money, paying for gas, and
doing what you can.
Yeah. You never make it. I mean, when was it? Back in '77, they paid me $500 a week.
Okay, all right. $500 in '77 went a little bit further.
Today. A lot further.
Yeah.
That might be $2,000 today or something. You know what I mean? Gas was 32 cents or something. I forget what the price was in those years, but yeah. So we did Trinidad, West Indies, and then we flew to Oakland and did. Well, they call it the Oakland Coliseum. It's really the basketball arena. But that's before they built the football stadium. And they're calling the stadium the Coliseum now.
Got it.
And they're calling the arena something else now. I forget. But back then they called that the Oakland Coliseum.
Okay.
The arena. And that was a lot of people. That might be 20,000 people or something like that. And in fact, Tom Johnson from the Doobie Brothers got up on stage with them. Fast forward 1980, I did a tour with Tom Johnson from the Doobie Brothers.
Okay.
And anyway, but
I want to. When did you say to yourself, like, man, like, I made it? What did that ever hit you at any point, or it's just like, hey, this is cool, I'm just along for the ride?
Well, okay, so I did the Jacksons and I did Johnny Guitar Watson, who had some cool hit songs. It's a real mother for you. Ain't that a bitch? It's kind of hipster black cat. Jazz guitar player turned pop.
Gotcha.
A lot of hardcore Johnny Guitar Watson fans out there too. So I was going back and forth between the Jacksons and Johnny Guitar Watson, and then when I was with Johnny Guitar Watson, Lenny Williams was the singer of Tower of Power, who sang the big hits This Time It's Real, So Very Hard to Go, What Is Hip, and a bunch of the Tower of Power hits were sung by Lenny Williams.
Okay.
And of course, as a horn player, Tower of Power was my church. Okay, I wanted to play like Tower of Power. You're still young men. All that. And Tower of Power is just funky, hardcore funk. Precise horns, and that was the focus of my style during that era. But Ace, the band Ace, we had learned how to play Lenny Williams' hit song, because Lenny's "Shoo Foo Foo Ooh" was his first little hit song. On ABC Records, and so I'm with Johnny Guitar Watson in Portland and Seattle. and Lenny Williams opened up for both of those shows. And so I'm warming up. I'm with Johnny Guitar Watson. I'm warming up, playing the horn lines to "Shoo Foo Foo Ooh," Lenny's song. So guys come up, running up. Lenny's band comes running up. Who is it knows our horn parts? What? Oh, my name's Jeff Lewis, and I giving him my card, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a card printed up, nice little trumpet on it and everything. Gave my card to everybody. And about 6 months later, they were working with a saxophone and a trombone player, no trumpet. And the trombone player wound up quitting the band.
Oh.
And so they called me.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, we saw you with Johnny Guitar Watson. You want to join the band? And that gig paid half of what the Jacksons paid, but it was a check every week of the year.
Gotcha. Okay.
And plus extra cash for per diem money for food, a little bit of per diem money.
This to play the trombone?
No, trumpet.
Oh, the trumpet.
Yeah. Okay. Instead of playing, with sax and trombone, it was sax and trumpet. See?
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it's me and Keith were the two-man horn section for Lenny Williams, and so I'm playing behind the guy who was the lead singer for Tower of Power, and so that felt good. And I was on salary. Now again, $250 a week ain't much, but it was every week of the year.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was living with mom and dad, but then I went ahead and because they were up in the Bay Area, so I rented an apartment up in San Bruno, which is next to the San Francisco airport. And at the time, talking about how times have changed, I rented a studio apartment for $350.
Wow.
Which ate up about 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
So I'm barely making it here. You gas for my Pinto wagon, and
Yeah, I think. I mean, a lot of musicians struggle, man. They struggle. I mean,
you don't do this to get rich. I mean,
I bet
some people get rich, but you gotta love it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So all this, how we're just talking about money and everything like that. So you're loving it. Did you ever think like,
man, I messed up.
Yeah, man. I messed up. I was graduated from UCLA.
My plan was to be an eye doctor, because my eye doctor was a trumpet player.
Okay.
But he was an outstanding eye doctor, and all the trumpet players, all the pro guys in town who work in all the TV studios and recording, they'd go to him for their glasses. And he'd play duets with them on a lunch hour, So Jack Fields, he had it kind of wired up, and I thought that guy's seemed pretty happy with his life, And so
so that's what I'm saying.
An eye doctor. There have been plenty of times when I'm going, man, I might have been better off if I was a doctor, But at the same time, I have doctors and lawyers, and they're customers of mine here in my little studio, and they're like, man, I wish I could be here all the time. Like this is such a cool place. You make music here, and I wish I could spend every day here. I'm going, well, you know what? These are doctors and lawyers, and they're wishing they spend every day where I spend every day.
I mean, I'll tell you this: just me coming in here, and then just you doing what you did up there. Putting some music together.
Oh yeah, I showed you Pepe Marquez that I recorded here. Just check out Pepe Marquez on YouTube, folks.
Oh yeah, man.
Just be thankful for what you got. Okay,
you had a big part to do in that.
I recorded every single drop of that.
See,
and I mixed it,
man.
And then I played the flugelhorn solo. It was kind of a last minute thing. I played the flugelhorn solo, and then he invited me to be in the video. And so there's a spot in there where I'm blowing my flugelhorn solo on. And it's a cool jam. It's a cool jam, yeah. And it has 7 million views on YouTube. It's taken about 4 or 5 years to get there,
right.
But it keeps growing.
Yeah.
It's a cool jam.
I think some of this music is starting to come up a little bit more. I see it growing a lot more. People were somewhat aware of it, but I started seeing more of a growth of it, and people like
taking interest in the old school kind of
vibe. I see that not just with music, but with a lot of things. It's like just hey, let's not let this die out. Let's take the good stuff from before and let's let it live, you know. And I see a lot of goodness in that. I'm just happy to be around for, you know, to see it happen.
Sure, yeah.
So I mean, when you guys
fun.
look, when you guys play, when Tierra plays, um, at San Fe Springs Swamp Meet,
Yeah.
holy smokes, it's a sea of people.
Oh, it's,
Like almost as far as the eye can see.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I've taken some pictures from the stage, and like I get impressed, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
a nice
like
crowd.
holy smokes, man! Look at all these people that showed up. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, you guys are rocking.
Thank you, pal.
You
Well,
guys are
you know,
rocking.
I have to say, fast forwarding quite a bit, you know, when I joined Tierra in '99, you know, Rudy is old school. You know, Rudy Solis, uh, uh, he was a wonderful band leader. He kept the band together. No pun. Uh, uh, we rehearsed every week. You know, and
once a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had to show up to rehearse. That's part of the job. We didn't get paid for rehearsal, but the gigs with Tierra, you know, paid more than any other local band. Okay. So you know, so in a sense, we get paid for rehearsing, you know, once a week because we're making a little bit more on, you know, a little more respect there, you know, and um, uh, you know, and Rudy was also really dedicated to putting an album out every once in a while. You know, when Rudy, like I said, you know, we mentioned We the People and Ace. There's a poster somewhere. You know, We the People, Ace, and Tierra's down at the bottom. You know, Tierra opened up for us. You know,
right.
Tierra was just another band on the circuit back in the '70s.
Yeah,
actually. Uh, uh, yeah, and but Rudy has this vision. He wanted to record stuff, and that's really what set Tierra apart from all the other bands in East LA. Well, the Midnighters recorded before, you know, that was like a decade before Tierra, right?
That's, you know, another great band right there as well.
I recently played with them too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. They need, they're Bobby Loya is a regular trumpet player now. Unfortunately, he got into a bad car accident, so so I had to sit in on a couple of gigs. But I do hear that he's mending. I'm so happy to hear Bobby's recovering.
Okay.
Well,
but
yeah, Bobby Loya and Bobby Navarrete, they were the horn section in Tierra in the early '80s when they had when Tierra had the hit. You know, so.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long each one of them stayed in the band, but
talking about together.
Together. Yeah. Bobby Loya is not on the record, but I think Bobby Navarrete is on the Together record.
Okay.
To respect to those guys, but because of unfortunate accident with Bobby Loya, the Midnighters invited me to play a couple gigs with them. So
man, you know, that's great.
You know, that's classic. That's classic.
Yeah, of course.
You know, Larry Rendon is the original sax player with the Midnighters, and it was wonderful stand next to him. And you know, he's the guy playing the sax solo on the Midnighters.
Yeah,
yeah. That's all. You know, I mean, come on, you know, classic stuff. Anyway, a lot of fun. But yeah, Rudy was really driven to record the band.
How did they get in touch with you? How did they see you? How did they say, "Hey, you know what? We need a trumpet over here"?
Well, I was doing some gigs with the company band. I mentioned the company band because they've recorded 3 albums here in this room.
Okay.
And I recorded every drop of those and mixed them and mastered them. I'm very proud of the work with them. But I was gigging with the company band at Commerce Casino. They had a room there, a nightclub room there, and one of the other guys that was playing with the company band that weekend was Isaac Avila from the San Fernando Valley. Isaac was one of the 2 singers in Tierra at that time.
Okay.
In 1999.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
And he would sing the shit out of "You're Still a Young Man."
Ooh.
He would Isaac Avila would tear up "You're Still a Young Man." As a matter of fact, a recording of Isaac Avila singing "You're Still a Young Man" is on the company band's album. I'm not sure which album is. I think it's maybe their second album. check out the company band, folks, and look for Isaac Avila singing "You're Still a Young Man," and I'm playing trumpet on all of that. Okay,
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, but we, they were saying, hey, wait, Isaac's here tonight and Jeff's here tonight. We can do "You're Still a Young Man," and so and there was a 3-night gig at the Commerce Casino. So each night we did "You're Still a Young Man," right? And remember what I said earlier, I think we were off camera. I said, playing that song has really gotten me a lot of gigs.
Right. Yes.
Well, Isaac's like, I knew Isaac. I played with him. He was part of a band called 818 in the San Fernando Valley. Good band, good band. But those 3 nights, he's like, this guy can really play "You're Still a Young Man." The beginning of that, and at the time, Rudy was only using 2 saxophones with Tierra, no trumpet. Okay. They had a trumpet player, wound up going on the road with Brian Setzer. It was a big name and higher pay, I guess. I don't know. But so Rudy was making do with just 2 saxophones, you see. And Isaac knew that there was a big gig coming up in Chicago where Malo was going to be playing in the same bill. And
oh, man. Malo and Chicano.
Yeah, exactly. And so Isaac's going, you know what, Jeff? I think you need to play with Tierra, on this gig in Chicago. And I think Isaac talked Rudy into hiring me, to play with Tierra for that gig. And I went to 2 rehearsals and I recorded the rehearsals and there was no part written for trumpet. I borrowed the saxophone parts and figured out my part. I really did my homework.
Okay.
And then that I had to read music. I had to look at music for that gig, but I put my best foot forward on that gig, and
nice.
And after that, it's like, okay, well, we got these gigs here and here and here and here. I'm going, and they're talking about it in front of me, so I guess I'm in the band. Okay, cool. So yeah, see, so it's who you know.
Right.
Heard you play Under Fire. So Isaac Avila heard me 3 times nail "You're Still a Young Man," and of course I played all the other parts, and but that one, that part somehow, you're just naked to the world as a trumpet player.
Right.
Either you're going to play it right or you're going to play it wrong. So thank God I've always played it right. Because there have been times when my chops were feeling a little weak, and
man.
I played "You're Still a Young Man" with Lenny Williams. I still gig with Lenny, occasionally.
Okay.
In fact, I usually bring Victor Cisneros from Tierra, and the 2 of us play with Lenny Williams on certain gigs. But yeah, so that's what got me into Tierra in 1999.
There you go, man.
But
it's hard to believe how long 1999 is.
It's
like, when I think 1999, I don't think, wow, that's over 20 years ago. I know
it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, man. Yeah. Well, you know what, Jeff? I mean, we could go on. I got like a billion more questions. We could do
a part 2 sometime if you feel like it, bro.
We're definitely
hanging out with you, man.
Yeah.
If your fans want a part 2, you have to ask them if they want it. But I'm happy to have you back here, brother.
Heck, it's what I want. No, hey, familia, if you guys got a question or 2 real quick, man, I'll go ahead and ask them. We're over an hour on this live right here. I don't really like to go over an hour, but if you guys want to ask Mr. Lewis here, Jeff Lewis from Tierra, a question, go ahead and drop it real quick, man, and we'll squeeze the answer out of them.
Yeah, I hate to bring up controversy here, but our leader Rudy passed a couple years ago.
Yes, he did. And that was it was definitely a sad moment. And I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just want to let it be known as a fan and fans of Tierra. It was an impact. It really was. It was a real impact when we heard that he passed away, and it was like, oh man, I remember going on YouTube, and there's a couple of channels that all they do is play music.
Sure.
Shout outs to Pomono Soul Sound, shout outs to Mr. Oldies. and they had tributes to Rudy Salas and so many other channels where it was just like, man, you know what?
He had a big
A
impact.
legend. Yeah,
Big
yeah. I
impact,
don't think
yes.
I don't think people know, or I hope you guys know, the impact that the music has really had on so
Oh,
many people.
well, we see it every time anybody shows up to a concert. We're so
Mhm.
thankful for every fan that comes. I mean, we do not take it for granted. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're gonna come hear us play, you got to put the date on the calendar.
Oh yeah. Oh
You,
yeah,
you got
man.
to wash your car. You got to get your duds together.
Yeah, you're not showing,
You take your girl out to dinner. And you gotta buy a ticket. And you got to drive to where we are.
you're not
You know,
showing up in cut off sweats. That's for sure.
well,
You're getting Bono Root up for
yeah,
that one.
well, it's
Yes.
we appreciate. It's we do not take it for granted.
Mhm.
Every single person out there had to go out of their way to be in front of us when we perform, and we're extremely thankful.
And you guys
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
rocked it.
yeah.
Let me see. They're saying part two for sure.
Oh, that's nice.
The sun shines, San Fernando back in the day. Sun shines. That's Coach Dalbert. He goes. He's old school, man.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if he's talking about a venue. If I'm reading it wrong. Let me see. I have a
San
question.
Fernando,
Did you ever play with Santana or Malo? Do you know Charlie?
I have not. I have not played with Santana. I would love to.
Mm,
I have played a number of times with Malo. Yes, yes.
okay.
Substituting for their trumpet player when their trumpet player couldn't make it, and then recently, Arcelio Garcia, passed away, the leader of Malo, and some of the key members of their band have joined us, the Tierra, on stage,
Mm,
and we've backed them up doing like Nena and Suavecito. So
that's why
yeah,
shit was
yeah.
great. Denise Castillo is asking. I want to ask if he has any groups. I'm, I'm sure she's asking. Are you managing?
You know what, I did. Back in the day, I was sort of the manager for We the People back in the '70s. I used to book the band there. With Ace, the Tulio brothers had it covered, and that was kind of fun to take a back seat and just be a player there.
Mhm.
Um, I am not currently managing. I had my own band that played weddings and parties called The Mix. I had that band going for 19 years. Um, it's tempting to step up and manage Tierra, because I think we need some of that. Um,
Okay.
but so far, but right at the moment, I'm not managing any bands. No.
Okay. The Crusted Joint is wondering if you know his dad, Vic Sylvia, and the band Sweet Tooth.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know him personally.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Let
There's
me see.
a lot of folks I know, but I know their faces and I don't know their names. That
Okay.
happens a lot too.
My carnal, my bro, strange days. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
He's not asking a question, but he's saying Tierra was a big deal for me growing up, and I still love Tierra. Earth.
Gracias.
Yeah. Coach Dalbert, Hollywood Bowl show. You made it. How was it?
I didn't do any Hollywood Bowl show. We did Greek theater. We've played the Greek theater many times.
Greek theater is a really good place to go watch. Yeah, that's a really good place.
The system there is great. The monitor speakers, the ones at our feet, they're really, really dead on. They're really super high quality.
That's a really great venue.
Yeah.
That's a really great venue.
Yeah.
So I guess we're all out of questions. Queen B, can you sing happy birthday? They're messing around. Hey, there you go. There you go. Sapo Verde.
So folks, look out for Tierra. I hate to bring this up, but Rudy's son, David Salas, I guess he's so anxious to. Well, he's never been a part of Tierra. the band that Rudy led, we are still together. We've filled in a few positions. I feel that we're musically stronger than we've ever been, and we are continuing forward. Rudy's son has a band that he's calling Tierra Legacy.
Yes, yes.
It is not Tierra. It is not Tierra, and the trademark office now lists Rudy Salas as the only trademark owner. I don't want to get into the controversies and all that kind of stuff, but I
may I ask you this question?
Sure.
How is it that Tierra Legacy, because I have seen them in concert too, I didn't know the difference till later on, and I'm like, oh, okay, then I heard of the controversy. How is it that you guys are able to play the same music?
Well,
is there any copyrights or anything?
Well, playing the same music is not the issue.
Okay,
it's not the issue, because I mean, We the People, Ace, all these, the company band, they all play other people's music.
You're right.
They all cover other people's music.
Okay.
The issue is them using the name Tierra.
Right. But now it's Tierra Legacy.
Well. Even Tierra's in the name, and they're obviously trying to tell people that they're righteous, that they're the ones that should be waving the Tierra banner. Okay. David Salas's name is not on the trademark.
Okay.
No one in the Salas family is listed as the owner of the trademark except for Rudy Salas. Okay.
Okay.
And when Rudy passed, he was married to Joanna Salas. Had been for many, many years, and she's the one that is supporting us, the band that Rudy left behind.
We've seen her at the shows. We've seen her at the shows.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's been at the shows.
And we interpret and there was a whole bunch of mishmash about the ownership of the name Tierra. David Salas had encouraged his uncle Steve Salas, who was the singer on Together.
Yes.
Did a fine job singing that song. My hats off to him, for singing that song back in the day, back in 1980. But he was encouraged to file for ownership of the trademark. And when you file for a trademark, because I guess that it had expired and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But when you're filling out a form to register a trademark, there's a box you have to check. Are you aware of anyone else who may lay claim to this? And you have to check no, otherwise they throw it out. Okay. He had to have checked no, which is lying on a federal document.
Right.
He knew damn well that Rudy.
He was on the original band.
Well,
he was in the original band.
Yeah. He was in the original band, but he was in and out. He was in and out of the band. I don't want to talk negative, but Rudy was the solid leader, carrying the band forward all the time. Okay. There wasn't one rehearsal where Steve Salas. There were times when he was in the band. He wouldn't even last a rehearsal. He had to go do something important. Okay.
Right.
What's more important than rehearsing with a band that anyway. Rudy was the solid leader and the inspiration for Tierra. I attended rehearsals for 24 years. Rudy Villa and Victor Cisneros, about 32, 33 years each. Roger Rivas has been in at least 15 or 16 years as a member of. This is a lot of rehearsals, okay?
Right.
And we rehearsed very hard to make sure that when we step on stage, we look like a band that's rehearsed, because we are.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't see anything happen by chance.
Yeah. No.
This is a show, and we're not wasting your time.
I watch you guys numerous of times every year. So and every single time you guys are on it.
Yeah, see, and so we've nurtured that reputation over decades, okay, by the hard work, and yeah, there's a bunch of guys in East LA that would love to say they play with Tierra. Let me jump on that bandwagon. Yeah,
Right.
Literally, you know, like,
Right.
you know, everyone wants to cash in on that name. Okay. We were the ones that maintained the name, that maintained the, you know, the quality level. And I don't feel those other guys have a right to you know, I mean, personally, they don't have a right to jump on our reputation. You know, they're cashing in, so anxious to cash in on the reputation that we have built, okay, and that we have maintained. Anyway, I don't want to. Well, I don't want to take up your fans.
No,
time.
I'm sure.
But what I'm saying, be aware that
I'm sure they were interested in that.
Tierra legacy is not Tierra. Yeah. The real Tierra is Tierra.
Right.
And if you don't see me, Bob Villa, and Victor Cisneros on the front line as horns, it's not Tierra. If you don't see us,
right.
Will Rise as leader, Tony Banda, bass player. He played with Pancho Sanchez for 30 years. And he's now permanent member of Tierra. He's been with Tierra for about 10, 12 years, something like that.
Wow.
You know, he is Roger Rivas. Okay. Yeah. You don't see us on the front line. It's not Tierra.
Yeah. I've seen that. Like I said, I was not made aware of that till a while back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it's two different groups. And then I heard of, you know, the whole fiasco that goes on. And I'm like, you know, that sucks, man. And all I can just really say is, man, it does suck, but it is life, you know. Life is not a fairy tale. Things don't go all nice, good, and smooth. And it's unfortunate that this happens. You know, it's unfortunate. Yeah. So, but look, as a fan, man, you guys keep rocking and rolling, man.
We will.
That's what you guys are doing.
We will. That's you know, we have our rehearsals and we're bringing it. Okay.
And
thank you all, everybody who's come to see Tierra. I really appreciate you guys. And I've been working away on a little album myself, Jeff Lewis. And now I'm planning to rehearse release some things from that pretty soon.
I don't know if you have a marker on you or not.
Oh,
but I'd like for you to sign my vinyl record.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to do this while we were live on air, just in case you say no. I'm like, no way. We got to make sure. I didn't prepare too well for this, but okay. All right, there we go. Still in the plastic.
Okay. In the plastic. This is a virgin record. Whoa.
All right. Let's, there we go. All right. It's not all off, but by the way, I'm so glad vinyl is making a comeback as well.
It's fun. They're fun. They're fun. Yeah.
Just put it
right there. That's where you want it.
Yeah, like you're tagging it on the sidewalk there.
You got it, pal. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I say
this is great, man. This is badass.
So I always draw a little trumpet underneath my name, so you know who I am.
All right.
Should I say to Ed?
Sure.
Okay. There you go, pal.
Thank you, sir. Look at that. From the one and only one, Mr. Jeff Lewis, man.
Thank you, pal.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, sir, any last words, any shout outs, anything you want to say? The floor is yours.
Okay, well, you know, come look for us with Tierra. We're doing a New Year's Eve gig in Pomona. Let's see where we're going to be at here. Let's see what we got coming up here. Boom, 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 boom.
If this were back in the day, he'd bust out with a bunch of flyers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well, just
yeah.
Just look up Tierra.
With them on, but not Tierra Legacy. Look at Tierra.
Make sure.
Okay, yeah.
Make sure it's that one.
Yeah, we in February we're going to be at the February 10th. We'll be at the Spotlight Casino out by Indio area.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be at the Canyon Club in Montclair, which is where you saw us on Friday February 23rd.
Hey, by the way, that venue is it's coming up, man. That's a pretty good venue right there. It really is. Nice. It's, you know, pretty private. It's you're close to the action. I like that venue.
Yeah, and it's big enough too that
Yes.
you know it's nice. We'll also be at Spaghettini's in Seal Beach.
Okay.
It's down where close to where this 605 hits the 405 or something. Spaghettini's on a Thursday, February 29th. That's a Thursday. We'll be at the Santa Fe Springs Swap Meet on
best place to go watch
on March 23rd. Only a couple bucks to get in.
Best place to go watch.
To get in. They make their money on the beer. You have to pay for the beer. That's how they make their money.
Best place to go watch Tierra. I'll see you guys there. I will see you guys there. All right. Hey, with that, familia, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna tap up out of here. As always, live your life. I mean, this has been great, man. We gotta do this again. But
yeah, come on back to Moonlight Studios.
We'll definitely do it. We'll definitely do it. As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings. And always keep it safe distance. Blood makes you live, but loyalty makes you family. Till next time, this is Ed the Thecholotrucker for one, Mr. Jeff Lewis.
My pleasure, pal. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Over and out.